if Melissa Joan Hart is in a film, I'm going to watch it. I've followed her career since I was 7. If she's in a Hallmark Christmas film, I know I'm going to be in for a treat, and I was absolutely not disappointed with Broadcasting Christmas. Now, I love broadcast journalism. It was, for quite a long time, my career destination until my writing took off in different ways, but it's always a subject matter that I adore, and you couple it with the sweet, if predictable, Hallmark Christmas story. The recipe is pretty amazing. This was released in 2016, directed by Peter Sullivan, written by Michael Verratti and Topher Payne, starring, of course, Melissa Joan Hart alongside Dean Cain. And they are both news broadcasters, and they did at one point have a relationship. That's in their past now, but they are both now up for the same job. And they have to spend several days or weeks, I'm not 100% sure how long this actually took place over. In fact, this took place over a long time, because I think it started on December 1st and it ends at the end of December. I won't obviously say what happens at the end, but over the course of those few weeks, they have to compete against one another to try and, be the best and get the job. But this is a Hallmark Christmas film. Romance is the underlying theme here. Will they, won't they get back together? Will it get in the way of them trying their best with the competition? Obviously, I'm not going to divulge any of that information, but I will say, ultimately, it's a Hallmark film. You can expect the expected, and in the most beautiful way. I think it's a very well-presented narrative, a little far-fetched and a little over the top, but timely. One of the characters was apparently trending on Twitter. There was a line in this. This is without question one of the funniest Hallmark Christmas films I've ever seen. The dialogue in this, not really from the protagonists, but just from supporting characters, just the odd line here and there. There was one about the pound symbol, and it took me a second to get it, and I really enjoyed that. And there are so many just little things throughout it that make it quite amusing. And, I mean, laugh out loud funny. Maybe I was in an awkward mood, I don't know, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the Christmas aspect is very prominent in a lot of ways. They don't do too many things, they don't bake sugar cookies. Nobody decorated a house. There were decorations, but nobody was decorating a tree or wrapping presents. There was some caroling and some dancing to some Christmas music, though. And absolutely the soundtrack is exquisite. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like it was non-stop Christmas backing music. I feel like the soundtrack was just Christmas all the way, and I'm sure there were breaks in that. But every time I kind of actively listened to the sound, it was a Christmas song, and a recognisable Christmas song, and I absolutely adored it. Definitely one of my favourite and one of the strongest soundtracks from a Hallmark Christmas film. It's a brilliant cast, obviously acting to go with it, and a storyline that speaks to me directly, that's pretty well developed. And although I say expect the expected, I will say that I hadn't expected the conclusion. What happened at the end was not 100% what I would have expected, so I was actually really pleasantly surprised with that. Soundtrack, as I said, is beautiful. The costumes are great. We have a lot of festive colours in there. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's an hour and 25 minutes, I believe. The time flew by. Could be in my top 10 Hallmark Christmas films. I mean, it could even be number 1. I'm not actually sure what my favourite one would be. There are some really brilliant ones. And some not so great, of course. But this one, Broadcasting Christmas, Melissa Joan Hart's fantastic. Absolutely loved it.